Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I want to talk to you today about how to say no when someone asks you to sew for them. For many people, sewing is a hobby, it's a passion, it's just that thing where you just want to take that time for yourself and just kind of zone out and do something that you enjoy. When we start to introduce taking orders and shipping and getting fabrics and taking measurements and all of the logistics that goes into creating something for someone else, and that pressure, it starts to not be fun. I've experienced that before myself. And you know, not everyone wants to have a sewing business. So there are times that people are going to ask you, hey, can you hem these pants for me? Hey, can you sew this for me? Can you make a dress for my daughter? Can you make a tie? Can you make this? Can you make that? Instead of thinking of that request as an imposition, as an insult, or you know, how dare you? This is my time and I don't want to sew for you and I want you to think about it like this. When someone is asking you to make something for them, and especially offering to pay you for that skill, it is the ultimate compliment. You should be nothing but grateful that someone is asking you to share your skill. When someone is offering you money in exchange for your skill, for your talent, for your gift of sewing, that means they believe wholeheartedly in you. So I want you to have that in your head when someone asks you to make something for them, to hem something for them. You know, sometimes it's not always them trying to get over and find something cheaper. It's just a simple fact that they're saying, I love what you're doing. I think that you do an amazing job and I want you to do this for me. So keep that in your mind. With that being said, when you come from a place of gratitude, of being thankful that someone is willing to part with their money to get you to do something for them, then the way that you want to say no needs to be expressive of that gratitude, right? So let's get to ways to say no. A lot of people say that the word no is a complete sentence. You know, there are memes floating all around the internet saying, no, just say no. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation. And that is true. However, we're going back to our frame of reference when we are coming from a place of gratitude, of acknowledging that someone thinks you're that freaking awesome that they want you to make something for them. So in that case, just simply saying no would be a little curt, maybe even a little rude. So I would not suggest that you just say no and be done with it. Because remember, when you're gracious about something, when you are appreciative that someone recognizes your talent and your skill, then you want to offer them a little more when you can't do what they're asking you to do. So I want you to strike that option out. Let's just not say no. Let's be polite and let's be gracious. The second way to say no is to say, you know what? Thank you so much for thinking of me, but I only sew as a hobby. You are acknowledging the fact that you are thankful and gracious and appreciative that they have faith in your skill, but you are saying, I don't accept orders, that this is something that I do in my spare time for pleasure only. A lot of people will understand that. The key here is if you really don't want to do it or you can't do it, then you just have to stick with that. The next way to say no is a way that I say no a lot. And I say, thank you so much for thinking of me. I can't do this project for you, but I know someone who can. Let me connect you with them. This is why networking is very important. Don't be that type of person who just holds on to that opportunity, does nothing with it, but doesn't pass it to the next person. Don't be that type of person. If you can't do something for someone, if you don't want to do it, if it's out of your skill set, if you don't have time, if you're full already, or you know, you just don't want to, right? For whatever reason that you're saying no, then refer that person to someone else. Even if it's a sole business owner, an alteration shop, or whatever, just pass them along to someone else. The person that you will refer them to will appreciate it, and the person that you are referring will appreciate it. They will say, you know, oh man, I really wanted you to do it, but thank you so much for helping me find someone else that you trust to get it done. And that's the thing. They want you for your quality of work. But if you're referring them to someone else, then they kind of have a bit more incentive to say, well, you know, Erin can't do it for me, but if she's referring me to this person, then they must be on par with her quality. So that's a great way to say no. Another way to say no is if you simply don't have the time, but you would like to take that order. So say for instance, if it's an order or something like that where you will do it, it's not time sensitive, but you don't necessarily want to turn that person away, then you can say, I can't do it right now on, you know, within X amount of weeks, but I can add you to my wait list. Let's get something set up. And then you can still get them on your books or on your schedule to get started, but you don't have to send them away. That's if you want to take the order, but you just can't do it right at that moment. So I hope that those ways of saying no are helpful for you, that they take you out of the frame of mind of feeling like people are being a burden. The key piece of information here is that you have to be comfortable saying no. You have to be comfortable potentially letting someone down, and you have to be okay with that. The thing is that it's gonna be awkward, and they're gonna try to keep asking you to make you do this thing for them, but you have to stick to your guns. The thing is with sewing is that once you take it from a hobby to start taking orders, even if it's just here and there, for a lot of people, it stops being fun. And personally, if it's not in your spirit to do it, if it's not something that excites you, then don't do it, because you're gonna start to resent it. And that's not what sewing is for. I want sewing to be fun for me. I want it to be a release, to, you know, exercise my brain, to get in, you know, to walk into my sewing room and to be excited about what I can create and what I can put on that dress form up there next. If it's not in my spirit to do it, if I'm just like, oh my God, I really don't want to do this, then I say no. If you don't want to do it, if it's a burden to you, then don't even engage with the conversation of price, because you may be tempted by that coin. And that is the wrong reason to do it, because you're going to get their money and you're going to start the process and you're going to be resentful, you're going to be angry, you're going to be frustrated. And, you know, I want to sew with love, personally. So I wouldn't do it. The same goes for family and friends, especially family. I have been put on the spot before in a room full of people where I've been asked kind of indirectly, like I knew where the conversation was going, to do a prom dress for a family member, and I didn't want to do it. And I had no problem saying no, but the way that the situation was set up was very uncomfortable. And I just kind of walked out of the room, kind of, you know, like, oh, you know, something happened, I'm just going to walk out of the room. If you put me in a room full of 1,000 people and ask me the same question, I'm still going to say no, because I'm comfortable with the word no. I appreciate you thinking of me. I think that it's awesome that you would trust me to do something, especially as memorable as a prom gown, but that's not something that I specialize in. It's not something that I have time to do. But I can refer you to a few other people to get an amazing gown done, just the way you want it. And that's it. But thank you, but no. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. Get that out of your head, that people are trying to impose on you, that it's insulting, because it's not. Someone is offering you money for your skill and for your time. That is the ultimate compliment. That does not mean you have to accept it if it's not in your heart to do so, but there are gracious and appreciative ways for you to say no, and I hope that I have helped you with that today. So I will see you later. Bye.